Likutei Moharan, Torah Chavtes. We're holding Masif Zayin. So, after we establish the principle that the spiritual blood vessels and mainly also the physical blood vessels need a dose, need whitening by the moich. And that brings a tikkun abris, that rectifies the dam nida for the shechina, v'chula, 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 v'chula. Now, we're talking about what happens if it's not done. So, zeh b'chinas choli neifel. This is an aspect of epilepsy, Rahman litzlan. Hainu kshadomim misgabrim, when the bloods overcome. Vehem matizin lamoich, and what they do is they spritz under pressure, they squirt under pressure to the moich, and that's in chatzin lamoich. That puts the brain in distress. When the brain is in distress, it rattles all the limbs, all the organs. The brain is the commander in chief. And when the commander in chief himself is attacked, all his armies are tithering. Because they all depend on him. This inyan alludes to the Shechina, that when the aspect of Gidim, of blood vessels in the Shechina, they contain an aspect of dam, of blood, this puts a pressure, it's like attacks, the aspect of the supernal moichin, the moichin ha'elyonim. And mimele, it causes the Shechina, to tither, to shake, to rattle. And that causes the Shechina to fall, to crash, to crumble, chas v'sholom. B'vchinas, as they said, Sukkos David, Hainoi Falas. Sukkos David is a very known euphemism for the Shechina. The tabernacle of David, it's Sukkos David, that's the Shechina, Anofeles. The Shechina, Sukkos David, it falls. David HaMelech is B'chinas Malchus, obviously. And that brings about, that spiritual principle, brings about the physical principle of epilepsy. Because Am Yisrael, they correspond to the B'china of Malchus. And when the Malchus falls, it falls also by Am Yisrael. However, when you affect the general tikkun, the general rectification, it's like I'm trying to find a good muscle for that. It's like a computer system that gets all fouled up after you use it for a long time. And it's filled up with all kind of junk files, and the hard drive gets fragmented, and all kinds of malware, gets installed in the computer from surfing the internet or whatever it is, and you end up with a computer that doesn't move. When you first bought it, it was flying. Then, after a while, it just can't move. So it needs to have some kind of a utility program that will be mechadesh the thing will clean out all the junk, will eliminate all the temporary files, will weed out the malware and junk and Trojan horses and whatever it is, just clean it up and bring it to the way it was before. So Aderech Moshe, this is B'chinas Tikkun HaKlali. When you make a Tikkun HaKlali, it just cleans the whole system. It's just the Tikkun HaKlali, the Tikkun HaKlali that awakens the Moichin, it elevates the Moichin. Mamshich Lavlunis Lagidim, and it brings by, it draws down, it introduces Lavlunis to all the Gidim, to all the blood vessels. B'chinas b'chol es yu begadecha levanim, at all times your garments, your blood vessels shall be white. The Shekhinah is healed from its aspect of epilepsy. And then there is Miskayim HaPasuk, Nafla v'lo toisif kum psulos Yisrael. The psulos Yisrael, which is the Shekhinah, it fell, v'lo toisif, but it won't keep on falling. Kum psulos Yisrael, get up. When that happens, then we re-achieve the situation, the state of where the talking is allowed. Open your mouth. This is what he said, don't go back gossip mongering, and don't stand on your fellow's blood. Re'echa, these are the Moichin. The Chochmah Bina, they are called in Kabbalah Trei Rein de lo Misparshin, two friends that never separate. Because the Chochmah without the Bina is meaningless. So this is, it's a tandem. Re'echa Hainu Moichin, this is the mentalities. Shem Trei Rein de lo Misparshin, two friends that never separate. The Moichin is a Sphira, the Chochmah and the Bina, and they're always together. Shehem einam oimdim v'nisbatnim milasot pu'uloso al dei tikbor sadom alechtes HaMoichin, when they do not stop, in other words, that when they do not succumb to the pressure of the bloods from doing their proper job. Now, when they are working, then you're not guilty of gossip mongering, of revealing things that you shouldn't reveal, because the Moichin is the way it's supposed to be. Then the dibur is allowed. During the days of Reb Shimon. If you remember, we spoke at length about in the days of Shimon, the dibur was allowed. After the days of Reb Shimon, the dibur was asur. Even though the yain, is my mind's a shtickle. Even though the wine betrays, this thing of boigit. The word boigit resembles the milah gidim, begidim, boigit in God. B'chinas gidim. Let's see what it says about Habakkuk. ואף כי היה אם בויגד גבר יהיר ולא ינוח ולא ינבא אשר רכיב כשאול נפשי והוא כמובס לא יסבר ויסוף עליו כל גויים וכמובס עליו כל עמים. Habakkuk, it says like this: even that wine betrays a vain person that will not rest, that has allowed his sense of entitlement to widen as wide as purgatory, as hell. In other words, no matter how many people die, there's still plenty of place in hell. So he says that person, somebody who's like a millionaire, somebody who's a billionaire, he allows himself everything. It's like he widens his taivas, as wide as hell, as wide as space as there is in purgatory for their shore. There's always more and more and more place. And he's never satisfied like death is never satisfied. Death says, okay, since I'm tired of killing, okay, enough. Death is never satisfied. And it will gather to it all the goyim. And it will gather to him all the nations. Rashi says, who are we talking about? What's going on here? He says, Avki Hayan Bergit, even though the wine betrays, even will Belshazzar, the grandson of the one who will betray, which is Nebuchadnezzar, that the wine will betray him. Nebuchadnezzar used the kelim of Beis Hamikdash because they made a cheshbon. They knew that 70 years, the nevuah was that after 7 years, Am Yisrael is coming back from Babel. So they made a cheshbon, and they said, that's it, 70 years passed, and they were not redeemed. So, okay, that's the fat lady sings, game over, let's drink, let's use the Kir Beis Hamikdash, for big feasts that the Edens are done. But the cheshbon was wrong. That night he was killed. That night was killed. Even Belshazzar, the grandson of the one that whose wine will betray. To drink 1,000 whatever it is units of wine. Gever Yoir, he's a vain man. Velo Yinova, it means he won't find a place to rest, a base. In other words, he will not exist from his generation. That because he was vain, and he said while drinking wine to bring the vessels of Beis Hamikdash, and he used them to drink. Because his vanity, I can do anything I want, I'm the king, I can do what I want. And it's going to cause him to get killed, and all his offsprings will die out. Because a vain and frivolous man will not exist. And he says, this is that Nebuchadnezzar, that his hunger for power and for this was without end, like purgatory itself, like death. That is hungry, without end. He wanted all his time satisfied. It's like Malach Hamavis. It's like a rich person who is never ever happy. You have $11 billion. What are you going to do? How much candy can you buy already with $11 billion? You can buy all the candy factories on earth. What are you going to do? What are you using? And Taka, the only person that survived that massacre of Belshazzar was a small daughter, but of Vashti. I'm sure you heard of her. And she too was killed by Achashverosh. When? In Mishteh Yain, when they are drinking wine, using the kelim of Beis Hamikdash, doing the same kind of mathematical mistake. Why did Achashverosh drink Likutei Moharan? He says, Belshazzar had the wrong math. That's why he was killed. But now we got the right math. 70 years are over. I can use the Likutei Moharan. So drinking Likutei Moharan from yain, from that betrayal of wine, again, that was the end of the offsprings of Belshazzar. Vashti was killed completely. The Rebbe uses the bechinas of remez, of hint. Afke yain boiged is like the word gidin, hainu bechinas gidin anal. Shal yado, when the bechina of gidin is being damaged, then talking is forbidden. Then it says hoylech rochel megalasot. Anybody who reveals the secrets of the Torah is called the gossip monger. As it is, Chazal said, nichnas yain yotzosot. Wine comes in, secret comes out. Because when people drink, they blurb, whatever it is they shouldn't be saying. Ki hayayin ubchinas gidin. The yain, the redness of the wine, is ubchinas gidin. This is the blood vessels, kaviyachal. It's gabrus adomim. The wine, which is the redness of the wine, is applying pressure on the moichin. It's gabrus adomim. V'chinas alter yain kis adim. Don't see wine. In other words, don't allow yourself, don't indulge greatly in wine. Kis adim. In other words, it'll end up being red. I think the water is probably boiling. Al tira yain kis adim. We don't necessarily have to drink, but just I don't want to do. Al tira yain kis adim. Don't see wine because it'll end up being red. Shachrisoy dam. Its end, Chazal said, it will end up in bloodshed, which means anybody who indulges himself, will let himself being lured by wine, at the end will get killed. So what is alluded to in the words of the Gemara is the yain represents a bechina of blood. And this is what we said, nichnas yain, wine comes in when there is an over surge of the damim, of the bloods, yotzosait. Secret comes out. Az adibo also. Then talking is forbidden. Then anybody who talks is b'chinas megalosait. You are revealing a secret. And it is so in the pasuk, afkia yain boiged, though the wine, even though the wine betrays. In other words, by the bechina, the aspect of wine, you get an increase of the damim. The bechinas boiged, the gidim, is damaged. Al shem zeh nikra yain tirosh. Why is the name called tirosh? Chazal said, they learned like this, zacha, anybody who drinks wine, in moderation, zacha nasarosh. It awakens the heart, it excites the heart in chachma. You drink a little, and it opens up the mind a little bit. Lo zacha, but if a person is not zeicha, is not careful with how much he drinks, nasarash, he becomes impoverished. You keep on escaping reality. Sooner or later you find yourself in the gutter. Not you, chas v'chalila, but hayinok shelo zacha. What does it mean shelo zacha? Kshe'enu mezakech et adamim. Lo zacha means didn't cleanse the bloods. Al dei ze nasarash, he becomes impoverished. She'ein lo lechem min hashamayim. He doesn't have bread from the heavens. Then his parnasa has to come through hard work. But when a person is zeiche, when a person is misaker tikkun haklali, when he achieved the Tikkun HaKloli, he cleansed the Dom, Nasa Rosh, then he becomes a Rosh. B'chinas Moichin, that's the mentalities. Haynu b'chinas Amshoches Alavdor Nismin HaMoyach, the drawing of the whiteness from the Moichin, b'chinas V'noizlin Min Levonon Canal, and dripping and flowing from the Levonon. In Kitzur Likutei Moharan, he says, when there's no Tikkun HaKloli, the way it should be, a person should stay away from drinking wine. In other words, if a person is not holding by Shmiras HaBris properly, B'shleimus, stay away from drinking alcohol. Stay away from alcohol. Because that brings old averos. Eventually it brings old averos, and it also steers the parnasa. It kills the parnasa. But anybody who is zoichet Tikkun HaKloli, adabe, by him drinking alcohol elevates the moichin, and by drinking he elevates the Tikkun HaKloli even more than ever before.